Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome into another episode of the Broncos Europe podcast. As always, I'm joined by my ever faithful co-host, Mr. Kieran Morley. How are you getting on today, Kieran?
Yeah, brilliant, Mark. Thank you. Excited. We've got a great guest on tonight who I know you're going to introduce in a second, and bit of fun. We're gonna go back and do what we did last year and try and do a way too early prediction on the schedule that's just come out last week. A little bit behind probably some of the other media, but a bit of time for us to decipher it, haven't we? And come up with our picks and see how close we get.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned him just previously there. Well, we're delighted to be joined by friend of the show, Mr. Mike Carmellini from Mile High Monsters, the Spin Zone with our very own Colin Cronin. And yeah, he's joining us live to help us pick the Broncos record this year. Mike, how are you getting on today?
Mark, Kieran, I'm doing great. It's never too early to do our picks. As I think as content creators, we have a duty to Broncos country, don't we? To put it out on the line and stamp our name on it, and they can all go to Bets R Us and bet their mortgage on what we tell them is going to happen today. I feel confident. Let's do it.
Yeah, this is exactly. We are going to be 100% correct with our
100%.
records. Yeah, we are usually very optimistic. And we were talking before, weren't we, Kieran, that last year we went back over the records from last year and we massively undervalued ourselves last year.
Yeah, same way, strangely optimistic, Mark, but not optimistic enough last year. I think a couple of suspect results in there, like where we put ourselves losing against the Eagles and we scraped that win. I think there was another couple later on in the season in that schedule, one score games, which we seemed to have a lot of last year. But we were pretty close, Mark, and I would take that underestimation again. I think going in this year quite happily.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there. We'll hopefully not undervalue ourselves too much this year.
Well, I did last year too. I mean, I think most of us did. The highest one I heard that I don't know was quote unquote real was 13-4, and that was David at David Talks Broncos, and he was on with we're on every Wednesday, and we went through them all, and he had him 13-4. I thought he was taking bong hits before the show, and he was a lot closer than I was. But I'm curious to see how this works out today, guys. I'm excited about it. It's a hell of a schedule, so I'm really looking forward to it. And again, just want to thank you guys for having me on. I think it's a great show, and you guys are going to do great. Broncos Europe needs to wake up and start getting on board with this, because we're taking over the world, man. Broncos, we're worldwide.
It's great to just be talking Broncos with like-minded people. We say it every week. You're thanking us for letting us on the show, but we just thank you guys who take your time out of your busy schedules over there and talk ball with us. Basically, we don't get the chance too often, so yeah, just a massive thank you for joining us.
Cheers, great to be here.
Let's share the screen. We'll get on with it. I read earlier, actually, that the Broncos had the third hardest first half to the schedule this year. And then I think it was the second easiest second half to the schedule. So, yeah.
The first 6 games are a bit of a gauntlet. That's where the rubber meets the road, is those first 6 games. And but I like it. I like where we're at. I like coming out. The Broncos have not played well in September, and they're not going to have the opportunity to, kind of warm their way into the season. Davis Webb and Bo Nix and Sean Payton, all these guys, Vance Joseph, they're all going to have to be on their toes right away. And as you can see from this wonderful graphic you guys have, those first 6 games are we're going to learn a lot about this team right away.
Just on that, Mike, obviously, I think you've given a little insight into that there, but just as a quick sort of holistic view of that, your gut feeling, would you prefer to have those 6 games straight out the trap, week 1 to 6, or later in the season when, as you said, we maybe pick up a little bit more of a momentum as a team? Normally, we have that sluggish start and get going, but knowing that those games at that point could really matter in terms of playoff football and things like that. Personally, I think I'm on how it's come out is probably my preference, but I'm interested to know what you would think on that one.
You know what, Karen, for me, it's kind of a mixed bag. As a content creator, I love it. Let's get them out there in prime time. Let's have some big games. I would prefer like one game to kind of get things going. Don't forget, we've got new coaches, we've got some new players. Again, the Broncos do tend to start slow, so maybe a wake up game would have been nice. Jalen Waddle with the Dolphins, or I won't say the Jets because they always seem to give us trouble, but just something. The Cardinals would have been a nice soft opening for the season. But no, I love it. The beginning of the season, when we go through these and you start looking at what these other teams are up against, specifically the rest of the AFC West, we all have hard schedules in the AFC West. So now this doesn't bother me. I don't know that it would be my exact preference to answer your question, but I don't mind it one bit. I mean, it's going to be real, like it's a fast start. Like, let's go. Like Davis, you guys have been talking, you and Bo. I don't know if you saw Garrett Bowles today on Kay Adams, but he said Davis is not afraid to put it on the line and rip it. And those were his exact words. Like, I've been saying this for weeks and weeks. It's going to be a whole nother offense. Like, we are out to score points. No more one score last minute games. Let's take leads and then let's use that pass rush. These first games, guys, this is where it's at. So we're going to find out right away if Davis and Bo are really going to let it go.
Hey, you said they were two peas in a pod, didn't he? That they've got the same mindset. So, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be exciting to see what they can do. And with the addition of Jalen Waddle in there, it just opens up this offense even more. So, yeah, definitely going to be.
We said that, Mark. Sorry, Matt. I was saying we said that at post draft as well when we're talking about that roster, that the weapons brought in on that offensive side of the ball they're there to just do just that, aren't they? They're there to create, points for this team. And if Davis Weber's going in, this is the best chance he has to succeed because they've built that offense where it's there for the taking to get points on the board. So it's exciting, I think, as we come out the draft thinking, probably not exactly again how we thought it was going to go, but a really exciting one for the future of this offense. So.
We laid out a shopping list for this team before the draft, and they went out and got, well, if you include Waddle, they picked up every offensive piece we asked for. So they may not have been the players some people thought they would be, but they did pick up. I mean, they double dipped at tight end. They got, my favorite pick in the draft, Coleman, and then I don't know who I'm higher on, Dolan Bentley or Justin Jolie. I mean, I love both of these guys. I mean, they did really well there. And, if these guys, if Sean can kind of bury that I only like to play vet thing, he did real well with RJ Harvey last year, in spot duty. So maybe he does get these guys out on the field. I could see Bentley and Jolie both getting playing time, but Jonah Coleman's going to be on the field a lot. So they needed to get some more weapons, and then the Jalen Waddle is so much more than just a cherry on top. What a huge addition to this offense. Everybody else moves down a slot. He's the number one wide receiver. That's a hell of a room now, guys.
I say it just opens up that wide receiver room, doesn't it? And it makes the exciting move for me there is Courtland Sutton. How does it free him up, and just will his numbers just rocket up because he's going against number 2 cornerbacks instead of the number 1?
Exactly.
He's a hell of a player, Courtland.
Well, you're going to double team. I mean, you can, you're going to have to double team Waddle, and if you double team Waddle, Courtland's a tough out for a cornerback. Playing against cornerback 2. Not going to get any help from the linebackers. Hopefully we're keeping them busy. And, if J.K. Dobbins healthy, he's a top 5 running back in the league. So this is on paper, it's a good looking offense. So
what you're saying is we're going to go
17-0 is what I'm saying.
We'll just tell you now, then it's fine.
We can, but thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's 17-0. Yeah.
Nice. Right, so we'll dive into it here. Obviously, week one, we found out we were going to play the Chiefs. They held it on the schedule a little bit to determine the venue, and we are heading into Arrowhead week one, which to me is more ideal than playing them in Denver week one because of two reasons. One, Patrick Mahomes may not be healthy, or he's definitely not going to be 100% in week one, we hope. And then the second reason is the weather in Kansas City in September, August, September is going to be a lot better than playing them later on in the season. So we usually play them. So where does that leave us, Kieran, week one?
Yeah, I've got similar thoughts to you, Mark. I think and again, we've got to think that Bo is potentially not going. He's going to have a bit of rust on him as well, but that's the ideal time, isn't it? Like you say, to go at Arrowhead when you're trying to catch the Chiefs off guard. Hopefully, as sluggish as we start, and hopefully we put that to bed and start a bit quicker this year. But like you say, it's a lot better than week 8 and having that reverse there. So I agree with you, Mark. I think it's a one that I'd like to go in, and I'm quite optimistic for that in week one. Looking at the schedule, you can say it's probably as tough an opener as you can get. There's so many fixtures this year. I think that's a bit of a moot point. There's probably half a dozen fixtures you could put in that point. That would be more difficult than this one. So I'm quite comfortable. I think it's going to be a very, very, very tough opener, but confident that we'll come away with the win on that.
Yeah, I think I've gone with a win here, by the way. I think more importantly here, the defense for the Chiefs has got a lot weaker on paper, is how we're going to phrase it. Jalen Waddle going up against Mansour Delane, I think he could absolutely feast on a rookie cornerback here in his Denver debut. Like, how do you see this one playing out?
I'm with you guys. I love this. I love going there, in September instead of December. Don't really like Kansas City late in the year, so I'm real happy that I know the Broncos country, over here in the States, was squawking a lot about how we should have opened at home and we earned the right to open at home. And I was thinking, man, big picture, let's go to Kansas City when the weather's nice. This is a, AFC West rival. And again, you said it perfectly. Dr. Chow was on the other day. He said there's no way that Patrick Mahomes can be, 100% or even close to that week one. It's just not possible physiologically. So, I think he plays. I think he has to probably stay in the pocket a little bit more, play some quick game. I think we'll be ready for that. And I have this as a win. I like this matchup for the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Kelsey plays coming back. With Mahomes more than likely having to be that pocket passer, that he's not usually that kind of quarterback. I'm having to rely on staying in there. Is he going to try and target Kelsey early? How do our linebackers play against him? Have we got that linebacker that can cover him? I'd like to see Red Murdoch coming in and just forcing a fumble or two there. But yeah, I think we've all gone wins there. So starting at 1-0 in the season, before we head back to Mile High and take on the Jaguars, Kieran.
Yeah, and I know, Mike, we touched on this at the start. You look at these 6 as a whole and you go, I think you said it, if you can come out with them 3-3, you think it's a very, very positive start to the season. And I think I agree. I think I've been a little bit optimistic though, and I'm starting the season 2-0. And I just want us to put right the wrongs of last year and that Jaguars loss. And I just think it's a good one. We're at home opener. We'll be up for it. We'll be ready. So I'd like to think that sluggish start, you've touched on, like, we put it to bed and we're coming in 2-0 before, realistically, the two toughest games in that opening schedule coming week 3 and week 4. See, I have a lot of respect for the Jags. I think they're the team that have improved dramatically over the last couple of years. But that one last year was a bit of a kick, wasn't it? And I think we'll be ready to put that right, I think, in week 2.
Can I talk whenever I want? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, jump in, sir, jump in.
Because Mark's muted. I can't.
It's for the best.
It's for the best.
For the best.
you're on fire, so he can just use sign language or type in the chat or something. But I'm with you. The Broncos have a history of losing to the Jaguars and then coming back the next year and absolutely destroying them. They did it in '96. We got knocked out. Probably one of the best Bronco teams ever were rolling their way to the Super Bowl. And the Jaguars came in with a guy named Mark Brunell at quarterback, and they just whipped us. And the next year, they wanted a piece of them. They absolutely smoked these guys. I think they ran the ball for like 250 yards on the ground, ended up winning 2 Super Bowls in a row. So love this, this home opener, our first home game with a rematch of the Jags. And I've got this as a win as well. There's no way the Broncos are losing to these guys 2 in a row. So I love this one out of the first 6. This is one of my favorite games for the Broncos. So tough game, but yeah, I think Broncos get it done here.
Amazing. I think I'm back.
You are back.
Tell you what, you took over. You can be the host of Broncos York podcast here moving forward, Mike. That was excellent.
Do I need to do an accent? Because if I need to do the accent, I can whip it out. I can do like a South London. I can go like hoity-toity British. I can do
I'd be interested to hear these. Please do not ask Mario to do an accent.
I was going to say, you can't be as offensive, anywhere near as offensive as Mario was with his.
No,
so it's fine. It's fine, Mike.
No. The only person I've ever had on my show that's more offensive than my guy Mario is Brandon Perna. Well, after Brandon was on, I got like 12 emails from YouTube saying, "Dude, you can't say that on the air." I saved all those emails.
We're going to need to get Brandon on at some point. So 2-0 start here for us all. So yeah, quite optimistic, but like Kieran said, it does get a little bit harder in these opening 6. With the Rams, I have this as my Super Bowl matchup this year. That shows how high I am on the Broncos, by the way. But the Rams, they're just built to succeed, aren't they? But I am interested in watching Nakua up against PS2. I think that's going to be one hell of a matchup and could be the key to the game there. Yeah, I've got it down, unfortunately, as a loss, but that's me.
I don't think you can argue that. I think you can say we go into five playoff teams in the first 6, and surprisingly, the Chiefs is the one that's not is the shock over the last given the last few years. But I agree with you. I think they're one of the bookies' favourites, aren't they, for the Super Bowl this year, if not the favourite. Signed Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, strengthen that secondary a little bit. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very tough one at home. You just sort of never know, but I think you'd like to think we're in the game. I think it'd be a good matchup against potential sort of Super Bowl contenders, just to see where we are in that growth from last year. So I'm not writing us off in terms of I don't think it's a one-sided competition. I think it's going to be very, very tough. But I think we'll have to put a loss on somewhere in these first few weeks, Mark, don't we? And I think this is the one.
Well, the Rams and the 49ers play in Australia in week 1. So they got like 24 hours of travel.
Yeah.
They're going to come back. San Francisco, they play. Then they've got the Giants, who will play them tough with Harbaugh as coach. They're going to come to Denver after that, and the Broncos are going to win this game to go 3-0 to start the season. I think McVay, I think Sean Payton, I think it just all comes together where, Sean's going to be super fired up for this game. This is, another primetime game. What is it? A Sunday night game, I think, NBC football. So give that one to the Broncos for me. Close game. This might be the first, what I'll call shootout game of the year. This is where Davis Webb and Bo come out. This is a coming out party for these guys, and you're going to see a score of 37-34 or something crazy like that. Super fun game, but I still have the Broncos taking this one.
This is our second 1:15 a.m. game of the season already, isn't it, Kieran? I think we start the season with 2 1 a.m. games.
Yeah,
that shows how far the Broncos have come, doesn't it? that we're on prime time a fair amount this season.
Yeah, and that's a victim of our own success, isn't it? You know, we were talking about the toughness of this schedule. You talk about the number of primetime games, and that's all because of what we achieved last year. But we do all right in primetime under Sean. We Monday Night Football and such. We've started well. So, but Mike, I thought you were kidding when you said 17-0, but the streak is on. We're going undefeated.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's happening. It's happening in real time.
Love that. I wonder what odds we'd get on a 17-0 season right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 3,500 to 1 to get to the Super Bowl. So imagine 17-0, what those odds would be. Maybe after the show, people might be putting money down on it based on my picks. You never know.
I think so. You talk a lot of sense. So, yeah. Moving into week 4, we travel to San Francisco, take on the 49ers. Unfortunately, again, I've got a loss on the cards again. I'm being a bit pessimistic today. Always think it's a tough place to play. But they always play tough. They've got some great pieces there. Brock Purdy seems to just know how to turn it on. Again, it just depends. I think how we start the season. If we're coming out the first 3 games 3-0, as Mike says, or 2-1, confidence is already high. We can take on anyone. I think sometimes we're a victim of our own. We always think that we aren't as good as we are. We reached the AFC Championship game last year, so teams are not going to want to play us either. As tough as our schedule is, they do not want to play the Denver Broncos either. So that being said, I did pick a loss in this one.
I think as fans, Mark, we've had sort of 10 years since 2015, haven't we, where we've been over-optimistic going in. We've had the orange-tinted goggles on, and then we've had the rug pulled from underneath us quite early on. And I think last year was that first time where, you saw it the year before where it was building, but last year where that success kind of came. And like I say, we underestimated this when we did the schedule, what we're doing now. But yeah, it's a tough one. And, I think say Mike win 3-3 out these 6 games. That's kind of where I've gone with this, and I think this is potentially one where, again, a tight game, a close game, but if we can come with, I think the bigger challenge, I think this and the Seahawks, without jumping ahead of the 2, where they are real challenges on these first 6 games, and I think this one, again, is traveling at San Fran, going off the back of the Rams, I kind of see us scraping that win. But Mike, I want to hear your optimistic spin now and tell us why and how we're going to win it.
Karen, ye of such little faith. Look, the Broncos are not going 4-0. Okay, they're going to drop this game. This is my first loss for the Broncos. I'd love to keep this streak going, but I can't do it. Those first 3 games, they're going to work for it. I do feel good about my 3-0 pick, but going to San Francisco, I'm assuming Purdy. I never put injuries into these. The only injury I'll talk about is Bo's ankle and Patrick Mahomes' knee for that first game. After that, I just assume whatever's on paper right now is going to be on the field. So I think, we'll have Christian McCaffrey out there. We'll have Purdy out there. We'll have the full squad. I love the coach. I can't believe anybody ever talks about Shanahan as we need to get rid of Shanahan. No, he's a great football coach. It's a playoff team from last year. They actually won their first playoff game. I think they beat Philadelphia or somebody last year. So these guys are no joke. They just came up against, Seattle, and these are, the eventual Super Bowl champions. I think knocked them out last year, either that or the Rams. I can't remember, but no, this is a tough game, tough matchup, and yeah, it's time. Going on the road, going there, that's a tough one. I can't, in good faith, put that one down as a win. I'm sure they can win every game on this schedule, but you have to look at them individually, and that's what I do. Like I to your point, Karen, when you were saying that, you've got us going 3-3, and then you're trying to kind of pick the 3 and the 3. I try not to do that. Like I started to kind of do it. Like I looked at the schedule at one point and I went, this looks like about 12-5. And then I tried to find like the 5 losses. And now, but when I look at the games like individually, just okay, in a vacuum, 49ers, Broncos. I come out with the Broncos, dropping this one, but not because they need to drop one to match my schedule. I'm literally just going game by game. So unfortunately, I do have us drop on that one.
You muted again, Mark. Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Broncos Europe, hosted by Mike Carmellini and Kieran with me today. Mark's just going to watch. Game 5 is an interesting one, Kieran. This one is another AFC matchup. Now, we have not done a great job against the Chargers. They kind of have owned us lately. This game is away, and we don't play well there either. So thoughts on this one? I'm guessing you've got this one with your 3-3. This might be your win. Where are you at?
It might just be, yeah, it is. And you're right, we don't, but we travel well there, Mike. We'll fill the stadium. We'll make it orange. And for me, I think I'm not going to give the spoiler on how well we're going to do in the AFC West this year, but that'll come apparent at the end of the schedule. But yeah, I think it's one where you're coming out with 2 rough games, 2 very difficult games. It doesn't really get too much easier. This is probably, like you say, one of the more difficult ones in the AFC West, one of our divisional games. But I'm excited, like you say, Mike, with this offense this year to see what we can dial up. And I just think this is one where we'll just have too much for the Chargers. I think we started to put that gap in, divisionally, our record last year. And I do expect us to go, strength to strength, get a little bit stronger this year. But you're right. We've said the first 6 are the difficult ones. This is still one of those games. I think the Chargers will be there or thereabouts again this year over the course of the season. Probably similar record to what they put up in 2025. But for us, we'll be 2-0 in the division come week 5. And so put my life on the line with that one, Mike.
Yeah,
I'm really, very confident.
Yeah, I love that pick. Confident pick. And the Chargers, they start out easy. They've got Arizona and then they've got Vegas at home. But then they go all the way across the country to play Buffalo. Then they head up to Seattle to play Seattle the week before. And then they come, and then Denver comes to town. So they're going to be coming off 2 tough games. I like how Mark already has me down as a win here.
What you in? Producer Mark here, by the way. I think I'm back.
Okay, you are back.
My audio might be changed because
I'm handing the show back to you.
No. You're the lead host now. I'm just producing.
Well, you Venmo'd me $1,000 to be on the show. To host the show, it's $2,500. So when I see it show up,
need to try and find it.
Okay, I got it. $2,500. Okay, here we go.
That's the kind of budget we're working with.
I'm with Kieran here. I've got the Broncos winning this game. This was a tough one for me, if I'm being honest with you, just because of past history. But the Broncos are a different team. They're going to be coming off that loss. And, they're going to be fired up to beat the Chargers. Chargers are going to be, the offseason darlings again. Everybody's going to be picking the Chargers to win the AFC West, or they're going to win, 13 games. I know they have us. Let's see, Vegas has them at 10.3 wins, and they've got us at like 9.5. So we're not even going to be favored in this game. Probably, 2 or 3 point underdogs, maybe even a little bit more than that. I say we win this game, and I think we kind of take it to them here too. I think we're about to get on a little bit of a roll here, guys.
Yeah, I've got us going on quite a big win streak. Just to sum up my thoughts here, I can't ever predict us to lose to the Chargers. It does not fit in my DNA, especially going to play in LA. It will be a Broncos home game, as it always is. I just think we match up quite well against them. And Justin Herbert's been in the league a fairly long time now. What's he done?
7 years. 7 years he's done nothing.
Exactly. And people keep saying he's the next, he's the big thing, an amazing quarterback. Yeah, he's good. But what's he done? Nothing. So I've got as a win here, like I already put on. Neil has chimed in actually on the chat here. Neil Bradshaw is a massive member of our Broncos Europe community. He's a very optimistic Broncos fan. He's with you, Mike. Well, he's actually more ahead of you. He's 17-0.
Well, I mean, Neil, you could have saved the part where you wrote you're an optimistic Broncos fan, because when you put 17-0, we just assume that. So it's pretty obvious from what you said, but yeah, no, that's awesome. And honestly, I would say one more thing about the Chargers. You have to understand Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh as a coach is good for about 3 or 4 years before his players absolutely are sick of him and he's got to move on. That's his history. He can't hang around pros that long. He's just a little too much with his little loose fitting Dockers and his his head butting you and trying to get you all fired up. These pros don't want to hear that for too long. So he's going to be coming to the tail end of his time here with the Chargers, is my prediction. He's maybe got another year left, and then he's going to get shipped off. So I could actually see the Chargers regressing this year, and I didn't particularly like their offseason either. So, yeah, I feel really good about risking betting both of your lives on this win.
I mean, my life
we'll gladly sacrifice them.
Take it.
Yeah, we'll put that out there.
Moving on to the Super Bowl champions, Seattle Seahawks in Denver, of course. I've got this down as another win, Kieran. Is it going to be a Super Bowl hangover? They lost their main, the focal point on the offense in Kenneth Walker, who's gone to the Chiefs. I just see us, I see a win.
And this is it's a strange one because we're coming off a short week. It's a short week for both. The Seahawks' run into it is quite similar to ours, isn't it? I think they've got the Chargers and 49ers ahead of this one as well. I mean, I went 3-3, and it was, not a guess. I wasn't trying to fit the Mike 2-3-3. I think as Broncos fans, we kind of said there's a lot of talk in the media, that's where it will be a positive outcome, and I think I naturally gravitated there. But I think this one was a flip a coin decision for me, because I think at home, off the back of a short week, I think it's going to be a really good competition, a really good contest against last year's champs, who are still at the moment, again, one of the bookies' favourites to go and repeat that, is from what I'm seeing. So this is the test. This is the one I'm looking at, really. This and the Rams, essentially the two, where I think it's going to be a real good sort of eye-opener to where we are as a franchise and what we can achieve this year. And I'm not saying that it has to be a win at that point for that to be a good season. I do maybe see us coming out of a close loss, but it'll be good to see how we match up against a team of this stature. So, yeah, unfortunately, I've been a bit pessimistic here. Neil will be kicking us, but I've got it down as a loss.
Well, they let their running back go to the Chiefs. They're coming off. They open with with the Patriots. They kind of get a week off with Arizona. Then they've got Washington, the Chargers, and the 49ers.
Tough. It's a tough little stretch.
They got a bit of a stretch too, and then they got to come to Denver, another primetime game. This is one that certainly could go either way for me, but I'm staying optimistic here. I think that this run continues, and I think the Broncos are going to beat the Seahawks at home to get through that 6-week gauntlet at 5-1.
Do you know what? I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Yeah.
And everybody that's watching that loves it should like and subscribe to Broncos Europe for crying out loud. If we can't get them over 100 on this show, I will hunt all you down. I'm an American. I will hunt all you down. That's what we do.
Yeah. Mike's allowed, we're not. That's the rule.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll Venmo you that extra 1,000 as well for saying that. So
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
When am I getting my fee, Mark?
Your fee is spending your Tuesday evenings with me, Kieran. So
it's very much a fee as well. That.
Yeah. So moving on, week 7, flying through this at the Arizona Cardinals. Is this where your run starts, Kieran? A winning run, hopefully. I don't think anyone, and this is nothing against the Cardinals, I don't think anyone should see anything other than Denver Broncos win here.
No, I agree, Matt. I think it's the nice one on the schedule at the moment, isn't it? And as Mike nicely put it for the Seahawks, who's got them in week 2, it's a bit of a bye week. It's not. I mean, in the NFL, every game, there's, as Mike's alluded to, the Jets is another one we're looking on this schedule, but the certain teams can just cause problems. But I don't envisage it this game. I think this is quite a convincing one, and nice to see my column turning green again in week 7.
Yeah, it's nice to know that you don't hate the Broncos. I mean, seeing a little bit of green there helps. Makes me feel a little bit better.
Wow.
Look, man, look, when Jacoby Brissett is your starting quarterback and your backup is Gardner Minshew, who I like, as you know, but you've got 2 nice pieces running back. If they can keep Love and Tyler Algier under ropes, this game isn't even close. The Cardinals are not a serious football team. We can't. None of us on this panel can, predict a loss here. This has to be a win for the Broncos. They can no longer play down to their competition. Okay, if you want to be a dominant team, if you go 5-1 on that first 6, you can't come out of that and drop one to the Cardinals. This is a win. I don't need to spend any more time on it. This should be an easy win for them in Arizona.
And just to word in there, Mike, if you go 3-3 in them first 6, even less, we can definitely kind of drop a game here. So I've got to have us winning like the next 8 in a row, to be honest.
Okay, and I assumed you did, but see, notice my 3-game win streaks. Broncos are a win streak team. We won 11 straight last year. We don't mind win streaks. So did we lose 2 in a row last year? I think maybe week 2 and 3 with the block field goal.
You're correct.
Yeah, we were definitely 2-1.
Colts and then Chargers, 2 one-score games essentially.
Yeah, T. Effery. We actually had it was the Chargers and the Colts, I think, and I apologize for not having that in front of me. I hope my memory's working right today.
You're correct. You're correct.
But
29-28
that should have been
against the
one
Colts.
loss, right, Kieran? That should have been one loss. We got screwed on the other one. They got an extra field goal kick they didn't deserve, and we took one on the chin there. Just imagine that though, 15-2. The broken ankle, it wouldn't have mattered at that point, but it still would have been nice to see 15-2. But yeah, the win streaks are about. Here comes the win streaks, guys. Let's get this started.
Absolutely. We're just going to put green in for the next
Carmellini
all the way.
I need to do this. I need to do this, Mark. I've got us down as a loss at home to the Chiefs. Revenge game.
Gone.
This one. This is one where look, the Broncos just beat the Chiefs, the Jags, the Rams, played the 49ers, the Chargers, beat the Super Bowl champs, went down to the Cardinals, put 40 points on the Cardinals, coming home thinking they're the world, and the Chiefs are going to be desperate. They're going to come in and they're going to eke one out. I don't like it. I don't feel good about it. Like last second, like heroics or some BS. And so I've got this one as a L. So we're splitting with the Chiefs, and strangely enough, we're both winning on the road. So
Mike, why do you hate the Broncos? Why do you hate the Broncos?
It's a thing that happened with me and John Elway back in '84 in a dart game at a bar in Littleton, Colorado.
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, it's true story. So
my Broncos in this alternate reality are a little bit more grounded after picking up three losses so far this season, and they welcome the Chiefs. And not again, I think all these divisional games, I think even the Raiders games are going to be, again, we said it last year, when you've got that sort of draft capital and you're improving that team, they're all going to be a little bit closer. That division is just getting stronger. I think obviously the Chiefs dropped off a little bit last year. They're gonna bounce back somewhat this year. Like Chargers, as you said, Mike, a good season last year. You might see a little bit regression, but they're not dropping to be a poor team by any means. They're still going to be there or thereabouts. So I think this game, I've got us down as a win, but I think it's, as all these Division 1s go, it'll be tight, it'll be close, it'll be back and forth, no doubt. It'll be coming down to the fourth quarter, the final minutes, which I hate. We had so many one-score games last year, and it was the amount of T-shirts I was ringing out at 1 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Just it was sickening. But Yeah, I've got us doing another 2-0 against the Chiefs this year.
Well, in my alternative Broncos reality here, the streak lives on. The green is rolling. We're going to grab that win at home against Chiefs. We're going to sweep them for the first time for a while. Yeah, we're all about the win streaks here. A little bit of live news, actually, live update. Rashee Rice has just been ordered to serve 30 days in jail. I mean, it has no impact on the Broncos in this game, but yeah, he's violated his probation after testing positive for marijuana. So,
well, it's early November.
But now that the 30 days, Roger Goodell could come down on him now for violating league policy or something like that. He could get a suspension. We don't know. Those guys have problems in that wide receiver room, man. They need to clean that out and get that done. And then 50-year-old Travis Kelce coming out. I don't know. I should probably change that back to green. But just based on new information, I would like to change that pick to green, and we sweep the Chiefs.
Ding, ding,
Mark,
ding,
handle
ding.
that. I'll send you $1,000 back. Okay.
Yeah, we're trading money here. Send it back. Green is on the board again. The streak lives on. The win streak, sponsored by Mike Carmellini, carries on. Rolling into Carolina. I'm going to keep going. Green on my board. Again, Panthers, they're a strange team, aren't they? They can win some really close games and then just not show up in other weeks. So I don't really know what to expect with the Panthers this year. I don't really know too much about them, I'm not going to lie. Kieran, do you have this one down as a win?
Yeah, no question. And again, I think it's we've got that. The schedule is, I think, the Chiefs was this little stumbling block for me in week 8 in terms of this little bit of a sweep of fixtures, and I think Mike, you alluded to it earlier on, potentially. At this point, we should be going in as Broncos, as contenders for the Super Bowl. Panthers won the division last year in probably, I haven't checked this out, mind, the lowest scoring winners or thereabouts with the 9 and 8, something around that. And there's 2 or 3 of them tied around similar, but we should be sweeping teams like this aside, and I think we will. I think, like you say, the Chiefs, the Cardinals is a nice, favourable matchup. Chiefs is a little bit more tricky, but we're back into a good one before the bye. And again, give it that little bit extra juice, can't you? Knowing you've got a week off, we'll go in. But yeah, I can't see anything other than a win at this point.
I got the Broncos winning this one too. I think this will be a tougher game than maybe it should be. Bryce Young and he's got Ted McMillan, a couple nice pieces there. Their running game doesn't really impress me, but they're going to play us tough, on the road. But it's a win. Clearly, you have to go with a win here. But I do. This is one of those games, and I've got a couple other ones that the Broncos could certainly, do a typical Broncos. We're going to lose one game we should win this year. We always do.
Still got Ejiro Evero, haven't they, as the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, it could be, and it could be this one, but I do have us as a win here. I think it's going to be a tougher game than maybe we think.
So, at the halfway stage of the season, where it's looking good over on Mike's side of the board here. The one loss, after he changed his mind after a little bit of money was sent back and forth.
Yeah, you got to, we can only go with the news we've got with Rashee Rice back in jail again. That's worth 3 points, and we were gonna, I had us losing by 1, so we're gonna win that game by 2 points now. Clearly, it's science.
If that comes true now, we're gonna look back on the show.
Trust the science. Trust the science. Carmellini.
Bye week, obviously, we don't have to talk about. So it's pretty well. It is a pretty good time to have the bye week 10. Gives us that. If you could predict a bye at any point, I think that's when you would like to have it. And then
we got the best bye week. Clearly, we got the best bye week out of everyone in the AFC West. I don't have it in front of me, but the Chiefs are like the very first one, which is like week 5, which means they're going to have to play 13 games straight after that. The Chargers are at week 7, which isn't bad, but it's still a little early. 10 is right in the middle of the schedule, as middle as you can get with a 17-game schedule. And then the Raiders are late, right? I don't remember
Week
where
13,
they were. They're like week 12 or 13. Yeah. So they're going to be just exhausted by the time they now. And the other one is if you go back and watch what happens to Bo Nix in this offense after the bye week for the rest of the year, these guys are they're going to wait till the bye week to make whatever changes they're going to make. And, like what we saw last year against the Packers, go watch that Packers game, folks watching this game. Go back and watch that Packers game. Watch Bo Nix in that game and see if you can even recognize him. Like, he just was a different player at a different level. And that's what you're going to see now. This is a perfect time, after winning all but one game, they're going to take a little break and then they're going to come out and start their playoff run. So I should have some orange glasses. I need some orange glasses here on the set.
You've already got them on. So
you just can't see them. But no, it's a perfect time for the bye week, guys.
And a perfect fixture coming out of it, Mike, isn't it? Like you said, because the Raiders at that point, I think, again, as we've
at home
announced, at home. But again, the fact that, as you've mentioned, our division's going against the NFC West, we've got that tough start to the season. Mm-hmm. So has everybody else. And I believe, again, the Raiders coming into Broncos week have the 49ers and the Seahawks in no particular order. I'm not sure which way it is, but, they've got that run of, I think they have the Jets or something the week before that, but they've got a run of difficult games. And like you say, late bye week, they haven't yet had a rest. We're coming in fresh into that one. It's not an easy win. Again, as I said before, the division games never are. And Mike, as you said, against the Panthers, it won't be that game, but there will be a game that we should be winning and we won't. But for the reasons you've stated, Mike, I just think this one's it's a week 11 and it's a win and it's a start of a great run, heading into a difficult end.
Listen to this run they go on. Chargers, Saints, who are not an out, and they're at New Orleans. So they got travel. Then they got the Chiefs. They got New England Patriots, Buffalo, Rams. They get a kind of a week off, but they're at New York. That's a travel game. The Jets are going to be tough on them. And then they got the 49ers, Seattle, and then the Broncos without having a break. Are you kidding me? The Broncos are going to smoke the Raiders in this game. Smoke them. It's not even going to be close. This is going to be.
Will Mendoza be the QB at this point? Will he be the starter?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, is Kirk Cousins going to play 7 games? I think if the break for them was at like week 7, where the Chargers are, that's when we would see Mendoza come in. Now, when do you put him in? Kirk's going to play okay if he stays healthy. I think he'll be fine. He's a professional quarterback. He's going to be well coached now with Clint Kubiak, I believe. I'm rooting for Clint in a weird sort of way, because I don't want the Raiders. I hate the Raiders, but he's a Kubiak. He's family. Shanahan's and Kubiak's, they're family. So I do want him to do well, but I don't want them to do. Like, it wouldn't bother me if the Raiders were like a distant second in the AFC West. Like, they when they play the Chiefs, I'll be rooting for the Raiders. When they play the Chargers, I'll be rooting for the Raiders. And then we're going to smoke them in week 11. So I put me down as a green square there for a win. But I think the team will be better, certainly better coach. But it's an interesting question. They could do like a Drew Lock, the last 5 games of the season where they bring Mendoza in when they realize, they're not going anywhere, because they won't. But I could see them going 8-9 or something like that. Like, I could see them being a 500 team this year. I'm a little. They've got some nice pieces.
I was going to say their offensive side of things is sneakily quite good, isn't it? They've got the best tight end in the league. If you arguing between McBride and Bowers, but they've got some. Yeah, the running back. You've got Gianti, who didn't have as good a season I thought he would last year, but he was a top running back pick for a reason, so I'm sure he'll improve. I've still got his Dallas.
And they drafted Mike Washington behind him now. So they've got a nice running back room. I wasn't as high on Genty as most people were. He's really he's like RJ Harvey sized. So he's going to struggle with some of that stuff. Now, he's a great talent, but he averaged like 3.5 yards a carry last year. I mean, everybody talks about how he almost had 1,000 yards rushing, but my God, they gave him like 300 carries or something. Of course he's going to get that. If RJ Harvey would have gotten that many carries, he would have had 995 yards. So I was not that impressed with him, but he's a dangerous player. But Trey Tucker and Brock Bowers and these guys, they're dangerous on offense. They should be. Clint will know how to use Kirk Cousins, and they'll be a fine. I said it before. They'll be a professional football team, which they normally are not. We'll have to be ready to play them. We'll have to play proper football, as I like to say. But we're going to smoke them.
A question for you here, Kieran. If you had 300 carries as a running back, you yourself, how many yards are you getting?
How many? Can you go backwards, Mark? What's the possibility?
Yeah, you're going to have one negative yard and just be injured for the rest of the season.
More than likely, yeah. I'm getting.
I would have one carry for 1 yard, and I would be on IR for the rest of my life.
Retired.
My football days are way behind me. There was a time when I was younger where I was like, I could play like a slot receiver or something, third string quarterback, but no. Yeah, now it's like, what was it? Yesterday, I carried a vacuum cleaner from the 3rd floor of my house down to the 1st floor of my house because this is a true story. Just because somebody, I won't say who, put like this on a top shelf of something in the pantry, and it was a bunch of Frosted Flakes and this little. I couldn't even see it, and I was pulling something else down. It falls. It goes everywhere, and I'm like, well, my wife comes home and finds this. I got to be a man.
We wouldn't be seeing you here.
Where's the vacuum cleaner and how does it work? So I don't know. But I find it, and it's all the way, on the 3rd floor. And of course, I'm working with a torn rotator cuff and a torn bicep I thought I was healed up, but no, I'm not. So now I'm on IR again. And when I put my camera up, I had to hold this arm up with this arm. So give me one carry, but I'll positive yard. I'll fall forward 1 yard, and then give me a broken neck, ACL, to go with my rotator cuff. Concussion too.
Straight into the
blue tent, and then the hospital.
Questionable to return. Broken
questionable
neck.
To live.
Yeah. I like it. Good. Moving on then. Week 12 at the Steelers into Pittsburgh. It's a tough game, I think. It's a sneaky, tough game on the road. I could actually see it going both ways. I did keep the green train carrying on, of course. I'm back in my optimistic mode. But I think this is a sneaky game where you could go either way.
I think this is the one, on this schedule for me at this point where you go, we should be winning. We should be winning because, if we want to be the best and get to that Super Bowl with these are the teams we need to be beating. But this is the one for me where it's that little hiccup. But we're coming out. We're only a week out the bye. A bit more well rested. But I agree with you, Mark. I think we sneak a win, but it's one where if we lost this one, it'd be one of those. You'd be disappointed, but it could happen.
Is Aaron Rodgers staying there? Is he the quarterback?
I think so.
No idea the story.
I believe
he's back. He's the quarterback.
And they've added another weapon there, haven't they? In trading for Pittman.
He's signed his contract up to $25 million for the year, so he is back. Up to. So there's a base and then a bunch of if they make the playoffs, if they do this, if he throws for that. But he's back. So you got McCarthy and back with Aaron Rodgers. Guys, I've got this one as a loss. I know it's going to be a tough game, East Coast game. I think I lost my. I just want to bring something up and make sure I've got this right. So the time of that game, it's 2 p.m. So it's not a morning game, so that helps a little bit. But yeah, you can put me down. You're always going to drop one game that maybe you should think you could win. This is one of those, and I've got us dropping one here.
I've got us winning it, mate, but I agree. This is the one for me where I agree with you.
It's a coin toss game,
yeah.
Coin toss. I've upset Karen so much she's starting to throw things.
Yeah, toys are out the pram though. But no, and again, I think they've added some. They've added a bit, and the fact Rodgers is back, he's aging, but with good quarterbacks, as the legs slow up a little bit, that doesn't necessarily mean the brain has. And he's gonna get them wins, so it's going to be a tough one. But I'm gonna keep us on the little green run here.
I love it. I just know Mike McCarthy's knows how to use Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. They're gonna be dangerous. They're gonna be dangerous team this year.
For sure. DK Metcalf, obviously, linking up with Aaron Rodgers against PS2. That's another fascinating matchup there. I'm going to keep the green train moving on again. We're still rolling down the tracks here against Miami in Denver. This has got to be a win. The Dolphins are in tank mode, aren't they? So, they traded away their pieces. Obviously, we've got Jalen Waddle. Is he going to have a revenge game? Could well be a massive. I'm going to try and put 70 up on him again and go for true revenge. Go all out. Kieran, do you have another win?
Yeah, but isn't it just mad that happened only a couple of years ago? That happened, and then to see where we are and how the Dolphins fared last year, and like you say, Mark, the moves they've made in the off season. Yeah, it's just strange game, isn't it? Football. It's just the swing, and I suppose that's what keeps it for us as fans. We've grown up on Premier League and football and things like that, where the rules and regulations to try and keep it as fair as you can with the draft picks and sort of the cap and things like that, to try and keep it where teams can compete and come back. And good franchises know to get around that and try and keep the dominance there for a while. But just the swing of what's happened to the Dolphins in that space of a couple of years, it's just crazy. And for one year, why not let go and be optimistic and put some points on the board while we can. So green for me.
And the Broncos are going to be going for 71 points in this game. They're going to try and get 71. And the Dolphins are clearly following the Broncos. Russell Wilson dump the quarterback after you sign a big contract. Eat all that cap space. They dumped everybody except for Devon Achane. You're starting Malik Willis at quarterback, who's a good-looking young, certainly better than Quinn Ewers was last year. But Jalen Waddle managed to get like 995 yards receiving on that team last year. Now that was a down year, but he had like Quinn Ewers throwing him the ball, and another quarterback who got benched and sent off. They paid him to go away. So, and I don't know if you guys realize this, but I'm the only one that keeps saying this. Jalen Waddle with his 995 yards or whatever it was last year, he would have been the second leading receiver in all of the AFC West with those numbers last year, only behind Cortland Sutton. And now he's on our team. Look, man, I don't know who half of these people are, but I know who Greg Dulcich is. He was a Bronco who we sent packing, and he's their number one tight end. So this is a team who's got nothing.
Hey, we were big fans of Dulcich on the show.
There's nothing like we should have kept him. Should we have kept Okunebanam? I mean, we let him go. Like we always get rid of these guys a little too soon. And Dulcich might have been one of those, but let's be honest. He's not an all-pro. They don't have anything, they got Tolbert and Atwell and Malik Washington.
Yeah, that receiving room's it's not threatening, is it? Really?
No, and their defense, I mean, there's just nothing there. Like this is a slam dunk win. We're at home. So we're not playing, Miami will beat us in, September when it's 110 degrees in Miami. I mean, it's a tough game to play. I was at a game with, it was Elway against Marino in Miami, and it was so hot. This is the year we won the Super Bowl, the second Super Bowl, by the way. And Elway and Marino gunslinging it out. And we thought we were going to die in the stands, like just being at the game. And I was living in Orlando at the time. It's like really hot in that stadium. Not going to have to deal with that. That's a slam dunk win for the Broncos here. No slip up here. And it's a revenge game too. We've got a kind of a little slate of revenge games on our schedule this year. And believe me, our players, they remember things. They remember all the smack talk about how the Dolphins whipped us. Have we played them since then? I don't think we have. Like, this is because that was only 2023 or something like that when the 70-pointer was. No, we're going to kill them. We're going to absolutely kill the Dolphins in this game. Sean will do an onside kick, a fake punt. He will flea flicker. Jalen Waddle's going to get triple teamed and he's still going to catch a touchdown, and somebody else is just going to make them pay. Like, they're going to be like, oh, but Jalen Waddle didn't get anything. And he's going to be like, we don't care. We beat you 40-6. Like, that's what's going to happen in that game. So, yeah.
I hate the Dolphins that much. They're the only team that. So I've watched 2 games live in America, the Broncos both times, obviously, and I think it was 2017. We went into Miami and just got we were battered. I walked out in the third quarter. It was just horrendous in this game. So I hate them even more because of that. That was my first ever live NFL game in the States. So.
Yeah, it's a terrible place to watch a game in the summer, man. It's terrible. It's just stifling.
Yeah, and then moving on to the Jets, Week 14. This is our opponents in London last year in the barnstormer of a game. Shootout, really, wasn't it, Kieran? We were on the edge of our seats for most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, these London games are just.
Wasn't that like a 6-7 or something like that?
Something like that. It was more like a soccer scoreline,
Yeah. It was not one for the neutral, was it? It was ugly. It was awful. But you get those games, and like you said, Mike, that's the type of football team they're going to be at the moment, and we'll probably expect similar from the Jets. But we're at home. Sorry, we're not. We're in New York, aren't we? We're in New York this one. But yeah, I think it's a green. It's a win. It's just it could be on the spectrum of ugly. I think, again, as these games tend to be. Gino has gone from Raiders. He's gone over there. He's a capable quarterback.
He's top 10 in his prime.
Yeah. So is
he in his prime still?
Top 10 in his prime. Just ask him. Just ask him.
I think he's whole prisoner over there, aren't they? Locked in on his new contract. So, yeah.
All right, guys. Here's where everybody goes crazy on me. This game's at noon on the East Coast at the Jets.
Don't do it.
Broncos are gonna drop the game. They should win easily, and they're gonna lose this game. And they're going to have 3 losses right here. This Jets game is going to be some stupid 10-6 rainy, shitty game. Pardon my cuss word there. But, yeah, this game...
We're not well known enough on YouTube, Mike, for them to come knocking on our door. So say what you want.
Nobody's watching. That's not true. There's like 100 people watching on Twitter right now, by the way. All you people watching on Twitter, come over to the YouTube channel and subscribe to Broncos Europe. Don't be like that. I see you over there watching on Twitter right now. It's like, last I looked, it was like 85, 100 views. So get over, follow a link or something, like a big boy or a girl, and come over here and like this. And don't mind that Jets pick. We're probably going to win that game, but this is me just being old and watching a lot of football. I know what happens during a season. We are all going to be back on. If the Jets beat the Broncos. I'm going to come on Broncos Europe that week for the post game whenever you guys do it, and just say it's. And I will say that it is my fault. Yeah, I got 90 people on watching right now on Twitter is what I'm showing you guys. So
maybe we could double our subscribers if you all come on over.
If you would, everybody, if there's anybody watching that subscribes to my channel, who, by the way, guys, I'm 50 away from 4,000 subs as we sit here right now. If you guys would get your butts, please, for old Mike Carmellini, and head over to Broncos Europe and subscribe. Obviously, these guys are great, great content. And look at this graphic. Like, you don't see anything like that on my show. I don't do that stuff. Like, I love this show. I think you people are crazy. It's time to embrace our brothers across the pond and get over there and subscribe.
I love it. I've just sent you that other 1,000 now. Okay, we'll ping that over to you.
That was the whole point of that rant I just went on. Okay, I'm at 3961. I literally need 39 subs. Let's go. We're hitting 4,000 today, guys. It's crazy.
It's gonna happen.
You guys are gonna blow up. I'm gonna make sure of it. Oh, so Jets, I apologize for that pick, everyone. I apologize. This is one of those where you just throw one out there. I have to throw out every year. You've got to throw out one that game that you should absolutely dominate. Trap game, classic trap game, but East Coast at noon. That's brutal. That's like 10 a.m. in the morning for these guys. They're never ready to play. And, look at the history of when we go play the Jets. You'll see what happens. You go to the East Coast and play an early game. Broncos, they're probably like 2-10 in the last 10 years. Like, they just never win these games. So.
This is a 5 o'clock game for us, isn't it, Kieran? A 5. It's the early one.
It's so early.
It's great for us normally, Mike, but you're so pessimistic about it now. I don't want to watch it. So
I'm just smarter. I'm just, it's not pessimism. It's protectionism.
This could be the game that we come and watch together as Broncos Europe fans.
I'm protecting my heart. Like, I usually go into every game like, telling myself we're going to get killed in this game, we're going to lose, and then that way, if we lose, I go, see, I told you. And it's how we protect ourselves as fans.
It
is. Says the man who's got us 5-1 after 6 weeks.
It's not my fault we're Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love it.
I'm not going to underestimate this team again. I got a good feeling.
It's good. Well, at the moment, I think I have the best record here. We're still going. The green train is still going.
I've just lost 3 subscribers since I got on this show. So it was that Jets pick or that Chiefs pick. One of the two.
It's ruined you. The Jets pick has ruined you. You've been cancelled.
No, I came back with the Chiefs pick. That's right. I probably lost the subscribers when I picked the Chiefs, and then they didn't. Then they turned me off, and now they didn't see that I went back and picked the Broncos to beat the Chiefs. So we'll keep we'll check and see if I get that sub back. So yeah, we lost a sub. I keep interrupting you. Raiders.
You keep interrupting all you want. You are the host of the show. You're not interrupting anyone. So at Raiders, Kieran, another win.
Yeah, and I said I wasn't going to tell you my divisional pick, but at the minute this would make us is it 5-0 in the division? But yeah, again, I think anyone might. I've said the Jets will sneak that win, and I think it'll be an ugly game. And again, these Raiders games, they're going to be close. I think both of them, despite what people might be projecting as the Raiders' records this year, I think this one's very much the same for me. I think we go to Vegas. I think we get the win, but it's going to be tricky, as we said in week 11. Coming off week 11, one obviously we're coming off fresh off the bye. The Raiders will be 2 weeks out of bye at this point, so a little bit more refreshed themselves. But I'm just hoping that the momentum we've gained on my 8th, soon to be with this one, 8-game win streak, that keeps going for one last game, and we get another victory on the road.
Yeah, Mark, I've got Mendoza starting this game. This is a win for the Broncos. We're going to go down there and take care of business. We don't like playing there very much for some reason, but yeah, it'll be a home game. for us there. We'll fill the stadium this year. Everybody's going to be really fired up. We've only dropped 3 games, so this is a win for the Broncos here.
Do you see this one, Mike, as Mendoza's first game, or would you think at this point he's probably been in following the bye?
Well, the bye was he'll have already be playing by the bye, after the bye, I think.
Yeah, week 14, whoever they have.
But he'll definitely be playing by now. We're way past the time where you can keep first round quarterbacks. Certainly first overall pick.
Yeah,
I even have to remind myself that, like, this is the first overall pick. I'm not sold on him in any stretch or form. Like, I like to draft him in the top 20. Fine. Number 1 overall. I think this was such a down class that for quarterbacks, that he just looked like, what would he have been in 2024? Where would he have been drafted in the Bo Nix draft? 4th or 5th? Maybe they would have taken him, before Bo. Of course, that nobody respected Bo. But if you redrafted the 2024, Bo's going to be top 3 in that draft. Argue against, someone besides me. But I think Mendoza's playing here. I think he's going to be good for the Raiders, but I don't think he's ready yet. And he's certainly not ready against our defense.
I was going to say, would he make it out of the game after coming up against Benito and Cooper? And
he's just going to get sacked like crazy. He's going to take too long. He's going to hold the ball a little too long, and he's going to learn that you just can't do that. He's going to learn he's not as fast as, he's not going to be able to run away from these guys. Jaquan McMillan's going to pick him, maybe even for a pick 6. I think this is going to be Mendoza's sort of, oh crap, okay, this is what the NFL is kind of game. So I've got us winning that one fairly easily.
Yeah, and then moving on to a playoff revenge game for the Bills. This is where my green train stops rolling. We're hitting the station, I'm afraid. I've got us down as a loss. They'll want revenge in this one. Josh Allen is, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, if not the best quarterback in the league. He's still got his weapons there, but the change of head coach could change things up a little bit. But yeah, the Bills are just one of those organisations that always cause problems, and I think they come in with a little bit of I can't find the phrase, but they'll want to win a little bit more than normal. I've got
a chip on our shoulder. They're going to have a chip on their shoulder.
That's the one. Yeah. So
now, is that just an American saying, or do they say that, or because that would denote you have a French fry on your shoulder over there, right? Chips or like fries or something. I don't know. I have column on every weekend, and I'm still trying to learn, everything. But like, I understand what being in situ is. I'm starting to get, mind yourself. Like but chip on the shoulder. I just wanted to check and make sure. Okay, so I can use that. I'll go, Karen. I've got the Bills winning here too. Yeah, they're going to be saucy after getting knocked out by us last year. They're still going to be a great football team. Certainly a playoff team. We'll see them again in the playoffs. At home, like, it could go either way. But after the Jets, you go Steelers, Dolphins, Jets, Raiders, and I know I've got 2 losses there, but we probably go 4-0 in that stretch. But the Bills are going to come in playing possibly for positioning with the Patriots. So this could end up being like a must win for them and not for us, if that makes sense. So I'll give this one to the Bills this time. Although, I said at the beginning, we could win 17 games, Neil, like you said earlier. His name was Neil, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, it was Neil.
In the chat. Yeah, I mean, we could win all 17, but I gotta be semi-realistic, and this is gonna be a team that really wants to win this game, and it could be a battle. Davis Webb's the wild card here. We put up 33 on them last time. They're going to have to do that again. The Broncos are going to have to score at least 30 points to win this game. Is it December yet? Now we're playing. I don't know what the date is of this game.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's
This is a Christmas Day game.
Bills is
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
Yeah, it would be just like the Broncos to ruin our Christmas. I forgot it was a Christmas Day. God loves me and Santa Claus loves me. So put this one down as a win. Broncos beat the Bills on Christmas Day. Change it. Make her green.
Wow.
Let's go.
Well, we've got a good record, Mike. I know Christmas we did it last year, didn't we? So, but I'm unfortunately I'm keeping mine red, and I think until you change your mind, Mike, I couldn't disagree with anything you said. I think it's one of those games where it's just going to be very difficult.
I think the Christmas thing, they're traveling on Christmas, they're away from their families. Just enough of those players are going to be, poopy and pouty enough. Might give us the edge. There's so little that separates these two teams. I do think Josh Allen, like you said, is one of the best, if not, he's certainly a top 3 quarterback in the league. Played very poorly against us, or we actually made him play poorly against us, but he had some stupid mistakes. This is going to be a close one, but no, I forgot that it was the Christmas game, and I did pick the Broncos to win when we did this last week on the show. So I'm going to stick with the Broncos beating the Bills here. I like it. Yeah.
And then obviously the Patriots we're visiting the Patriots. Sorry, week 17. Seeding on the line more than likely could be for the number 1 seed in the AFC. Who knows? It's a tough one, isn't it, against Drake May and the Patriots? But hopefully we'll have Bo Nix fully health and firing at this point, ready for the playoffs. I've got us down as a win against the Patriots.
This is one for me, Mark, where again, flip a coin. It's that revenge game. We're going to be up for it. We'll have the chip on our shoulder on this one, going in trying to right that wrong. And I think the benefit is with the Bills game being on Christmas and at home, although we're travelling and it'll be cold, there's the potential there depending on when, because at the moment it's not set, is it? This is one that will be later on. But there's a potential for us to get a little bit of a longer week with the Bills week being a shorter one, I think, playing early for Christmas days. I know the Patriots don't play till like the 27th, so they'll be coming in potentially, a little bit less fresh than we will. Yeah, not a nice place to go, especially when it's freezing. But I just think we'll be wanting to right the wrongs of last year in that game's back on green for me to see this one out in week 17.
It's a flex game too, so it's probably going to be moved into an afternoon primetime game, which is great for us. That 10-7 loss in the AFC Championship game with a backup quarterback who handed them the game. The Broncos are they have this game circled on their schedule. They are going to go up and absolutely smoke the Patriots. Put this one down as a win for Carmellini here. Yeah. No way are we letting them beat us after what they did to us and talk all that smack after barely. I think May threw for 86 yards and won the game. We're
such a frustrating game to watch. I mean,
we're going to smoke them. We're going to smoke them.
The amount of talk that the Patriots fans did after that, even over in Europe and the UK, they were all over it, and I'm so glad they lost the Super Bowl after all that. Moving on, final week. The Broncos will be resting their starters at this point. Up against the Chargers in Denver. Yeah, I've still got us winning even with a backup. Michael Bandy's going to go for 3 touchdowns and over 100 yards. I believe the Bandy wagon.
Yeah, clean sweep for me in the division, Mark. This is it. This is where my prediction will undoubtedly fall to pieces, because the reality of that is very difficult. But yeah, 6-0 in the division. See the season out with a win, week 18, and finish with a lovely, let's do the maths, 13-4 record, I think, and hopefully underestimated like we did last year.
I agree with Mark on we'll be resting. I don't think the Chargers will. I think they're going to be fighting for a 6th seed or something here. I got us as a loss. We'll drop this game, basically give it away, rest our starters for the playoff run. We'll already have wrapped up the number 1 seed when we beat the Patriots in week 17. The Bills and it'll be one of those two. We'll have beaten both of them. So whoever else, either the Bills or the Patriots and or the Broncos, one of those three teams is going to be the number one seed going into the playoffs. For the AFC, I believe. I don't think it's going to be Baltimore. I know everybody gets real high on Baltimore. I think they'll be a good team, but I think these are the three best teams in the AFC right here. But we just swept the Bills and the Patriots. The Chargers, nobody's going to care. You're going to see, Stidham or whoever's still left on, Michael Bandy, like you said. They'll probably pull Jaleel, off of the practice squad and have him running the ball. Maybe
Caleb Loaders.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, maybe let Coleman get some, some more rushing yards.
Jeremy Crawshaw throwing tutties.
So, but I mean, we'll give that one away. A tidy 13-4 on the year, number one seed. Comfortable with that. You can move that Jets game to the, to a Raiders game or something. Like something weird will happen. Take my word for it, we will. And then, I do believe we lose one of the Rams or 49ers games. But guys, if we come out of that first 6 at 4-2, we're golden. I mean, 3-3 even would be fine. I'd prefer 4-2, but you come out of that first slate at 4-2, and it's going to be on. There may be a time early in the season where we're tied, or even a game back of like Kansas City, who starts easier this year than we do. But then it gets easier for us, and then we'll take over, and then just make a run for it. So we dropped 4 games. Looks like all of us have us. No, except for Mark. You've got us 14-3. Is that what I see on the screen?
Yeah, we're going all the way. I told you.
Wow.
The train is at the station.
I was thought so. You guys were making fun of me for having my orange tinted glasses, but you're the one with the most. You and Neil. Neil's got us 17-0. You've got us 14-3.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what our record will be, to be honest, because we're going all the way anyway. So we're going all the way.
We're winning the Super Bowl this year.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's stop sharing that. It's going to be a good season, judging by our predictions here. I've had a lot of fun this evening. I know, Mike, you'll have to run soon. Just what a pleasure to have you on. Someone who's knowledgeable about Broncos, a lot more knowledgeable than we are, Kieran. I know you won't mind me saying that, but
that is probably not true, but I appreciate you saying it. I'm more of a host than I am an analyst. I've gotten better at it over the years, but I prefer to bring on like people who are really smart and like do the work, and like do the stats and stuff, and I just sit back and point and just drive the show. So yeah, don't.
But Mike, come on our show tonight and was a better host and a better analyst.
I'm Venmoing all the money back. I'm Venmoing all the money back. I'm going to do a live. This is now you guys watching right now. Is anybody on? Oh, we're over 100 now watching on Twitter, and now I'm going to go to.
This is actually it's come out.
I need to look up a live. I have to go. Bear with me, Mark. I'm sorry, Kieran.
All right.
I'm trying to get over here. I want to see who's watching live. Do you have how many people are watching you right now on Twitter or on YouTube?
YouTube is literally just the one on YouTube. We've hit the big heights of one.
Okay, you gained a subscriber. You went from 91 to 92. So we got one subscriber. That is not enough. We need at least 10. We need to get over 100. We need 8 of you watching to get over to Broncos Europe at Broncos EUR and hit the subscribe button. YouTube loves that. When you get new subscribers, you get likes, then YouTube's like, oh, well, maybe we should send this out to another bloke or two. And see, bloke, I slid bloke in there. God, I'm getting good at this.
Hey, we've got another viewer on YouTube. It's working.
So get over there and subscribe. It's ridiculous. You guys need to learn it's okay to ask for subscribers, man. They don't think of it. They just want to watch the show, and that's fine. And we'd love to have you guys here. But without subscribers, YouTube doesn't send it to more people to watch. So it's just the same people every week get to see it. So get over there and help these guys out. And guys, I just can't thank you enough for having me on. It was wonderful. I enjoyed going through the schedule. I know I'm the one that's probably most right, as usual. I hope you don't hold that against me later. I'm not as cocky as Mario, but there is a little, cocky-esque about me. So.
Here's a question though: would you get served a beer in London? Mario didn't even manage to get a beer when he was here. So
I thought it was called a pint. Is it not called a pint? You just call it a pint?
Either way, he queued up for over an hour and still didn't get one. So
he didn't. I'm trilingual, so you don't have to try and talk American to me. I know we don't use the right proper language. I know we got the wrong stuff. But you guys, at least I can understand what you say. Call him Cronin. I need to turn on
the captions, get subtitles on,
so I can understand the guy that I do my show with every week. It's a thing.
So, why don't you do a quick shout out then to where, if anyone here is watching that doesn't already know you, where can they find you online?
Well, you used to be able to find me on Twitter, but now that's gotten odd. I got hacked and lost that. But yeah, on YouTube, Mile High Monsters. It's probably like Mile High Monsters / Denver Broncos. But yeah, I'd love to see you over there. Come on over. We're on Wednesday, Thursday, and either Saturday or Sunday, depending on what columns got going on. So yeah, it's off season's fun. We do a show called Mic'd Up, and I this week I've got D-Mac from Altitude Radio, and his opponent is Ben from Sports Talk Denver. I get them both on the show, and then I keep score, and I do trivia, and I rate their takes on whatever's going on, and try and make them look like idiots as much as possible. So it's a lot of fun to do that, especially with somebody like D-Mac, because he's a good sport. So, but I appreciate you letting me, shout out my stuff over on Twitter. I don't even know what I changed it to. Oh, it's like Mile High Monster without the GH. Yeah, without the GH, because some jackass already stole it, and I don't even know who that is, but. Yeah.
If you pay me $1,000, you can have it. You can have it. I already bought
it. Let me Venmo you the $1,000 right now, and exactly. I want my handle back. So, well, guys, cheers, man. Thanks so much for having me on. It was a pleasure. Anytime you guys want me back, just let me know, and we'll work it out.
Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, and we'll see you all next week for another show.
Go Broncos.